I think you might actually be just, you know, banned. That could be possible.
Well, I'm like, oh, okay.
See, that is kind of the definition of a script that removes you whenever you join.
My always doesn't happen. Just Zapper? Should we make a new account? Oh, I got kicked.
Just Zapper 3. You gotta be like...
I do not have clothing to wear in Roblox that is not a uniform.
Great.
At all. I'll just dress like I did when I was going to network.
What is it? Guys, both podiums say Matrix OC. The debate is actually just Matrix running back and forth between the podiums.
Did I fix it?
It's only Matrix.
Matrix has to run back and forth and argue with himself, actually.
Did I fix it? I think I fixed it.
If only Supra was awake to fix these errors.
Oh yeah, you fixed it.
Yeah, I have a podium control on that.
Vince Vance is Vince Vance, younger addict cousin.
Vince Vance from out there.
He lives in the slums.
Poor Vince Vance, man. I hope he can uplift him somehow.
No addiction services exist.
Yeah. Addiction is over.
The more alcoholics we have.
And the gamblers.
Gambling so bad. Gambling the attic casino. It's actually insane. Those are good additions.
Vince Vance man capitalized right now.
Very good additions. Suspicious.
Vince Vance is suspicious by nature.
What's good, gang?
Which I say as a personal person and not as the elections administrator.
He's like, let me add a disclaimer to that.
I am not biased, I'm just a little biased.
I'm not biased, I already decided the election outcome.
It's weird!
Yeah, I'm not gonna do any voting.
Stop the cow.
Oh, do you see the Capitol get stormed again?
I hope not.
Yeah, well, if you were a big chief, I know you would see that.
That's why we don't allow reenactments around here. Because I guarantee you people will do all that.
Oh, 100% that would.
Are you still banned or what?
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
Faded you. Timbo's just using that with that back there. He's doing something.
Timbo, I almost got filtering, but you don't need to wait for the ballot.
Oh.
Should I start reading off the names of obvious homes that are supporting candidates that are, like, hilarious?
Here, get Lex up here. He's our candidate. You just stand there.
Man, somebody named Techie voted in this election? Obviously, all removed.
That's great.
supported people in this election? Who the hell's that? Also, it's kind of okay. I just want to say to the public, it's really surprising to me how many of you only supported one person. Like, there was more than one election. How come you didn't support more than just governor? Come on, guys.
The other ones don't matter.
Like,
So many people told me that, like, I don't care who they are.
Okay, well, Robin, I will agree. Okay, that is actually a fair point.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin. Timbo says he's ready. He's got the screen up. So,
It's the return of the Motown. The one that should not campaign in general chat.
hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ridgeway Gubernatorial debate hosted by the Ridgeway State Board of Elections Debate Commission in partnership with the Palmer Times, Rospan, Ridgeway News Network, and Milton University. My name is Jeff Stapper. Moderating this debate is Roblox Rules 756 and Eternally American. Both Matrix OC and Vince Fant campaigns have agreed to the rules listed in the program available in event updates. We would also like to give special thanks to Mr. Super Mark V for making this amazing, quote-unquote, stage that we are on today. Now, please welcome the 5th Governor of Ridgeway, the Honorable Matrix OC.
Yay.
Now, welcome the 6th Lieutenant Governor of the State of Ridgeway, the Honorable Vince Fant.
Yay.
We would like to take the time to remind the candidates of the debate format. Starting off with your opening statements, you will each be given 1 minute to deliver your opening remarks. We will then move to the prepared question segment, where you will be given 90 seconds to answer each question with a 30-second rebuttal period. Next is the question segment. Each candidate will have 60 seconds to answer with a 30-second rebuttal period. The topics of each questions will be in the following categories: ethics and leadership, foreign relation, politics, and their agendas. At the very end, the candidates will be given 1 minute to do a free-for-all, breaking all debate rules, however still maintaining Ridgeway and Discord TOS. And finally, at the end, each candidate will be given 90 seconds to deliver their final plea for your vote. The Ridgeway Election Debate Commission is a nonpartisan subsidiary of the State Board of Elections, dedicated to ensuring the transparency of informed decision-making in the electoral process of Ridgeway. Composed of respected news organizations, the Commission is entrusted with the vital task of organizing and overseeing state debates. With a commitment to upholding democratic values and facilitating meaningful discourse, the Commission strives to provide a fair and impartial platform for candidates to articulate their visions, policies, and plans for the future of Ridgeway. We will now move on to the rules. Mr. James, Roblox Rules 756 is going to read out the rules. You may begin.
Thank you. The first rule is the moderator has the authority to enforce the rules and maintain order throughout the debate. Time limits will be enforced for each segment of the debate, including opening statements, responses, rebuttals, and closing statements. Moderators may extend each candidate's time limit at most by 20 seconds. No interruptions. Candidates should refrain from interrupting each other while speaking. The moderator will intervene if necessary to enforce this rule. This rule, there is zero tolerance for it. Candidates are expected to conduct themselves in a professional and respectful manner at all times. Candidates must attempt to provide accurate information and avoid making false statements or spreading misinformation. Candidates are expected to follow the predetermined format of the debate. Audience members are expected to remain respectful and refrain from disruptive behavior. The moderator reserves the right to enforce the rules and take appropriate action in the event of any violations. This may include warnings, deducting speaker time, or removing a candidate from the debate stage. Finally, candidates will not be allowed to take notes during the debate, nor communicate with any outsiders.
Thank you, James. We will now move on to the prepared opening statements. We will start with Matrix OC.
I was told we would be starting based off rock paper scissors or something.
Alright. Okay.
I was
That's
told that.
That's what it says in the rules. That's all I'm saying. It says like rock paper scissors. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm saying. I read the rules before the debate. It said we was going for first based off of I don't know. I think I'm pretty sure it said rock paper scissors.
It doesn't say that in my packet. It doesn't say anything about who's starting one, so we could just do rock, paper, scissors.
You want me to pull it up?
No, I believe you. I just don't. Let's just do rock, paper, scissors.
I'm right? Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so how are we gonna do this? You didn't think it through, but you put it in the rules. Oh.
Listen. Matrix and Vince fan, go to general chat room and find your desired emoji. It must be a rock, paper, or scissors. All right. I'm gonna count down by 3, and you are going to hit enter. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. Both ready?
Wait, no, I want to get my. Wait, hold on. Let me get my thing. Hold on. All right.
All right. Matrix, you're ready. Have him DM it to you since one side can take advantage of delay. All right, yeah.
Wait. DM or what?
DM Timbo with your emoji. Just
All
do
right,
it whenever.
All right, bet. All right, wait, do it whenever. All right, I'm going paper,
Yeah.
y'all. I'm going paper. Hold on. Timbo.
Why would you say that out loud?
It was a joke. Or maybe not. Maybe I am going paper.
All right. Timbo.
All right, who won?
All right.
Wait. I won?
Moderator.
Hello?
Right.
All right. I want him to go first, though, since I won.
All right. May the moderator prepare the 45-second timer and tell the candidate when to begin.
Thank you.
All right,
May the Yes, thank you.
For opening statements, the first candidate may begin. The first question is, how will you attempt to maintain activity
No.
and transparency?
Wait,
Whoa.
Wait,
Okay,
I
you know
thought
what?
we was doing
What the hell is going
My
on?
bad.
Yeah, okay. I'm taking over.
Bomboclat, ya botched the bomboclat election.
All right, guys. You know what? Who wants to go first? Matrix, you won the rock paper scissors. Choose who goes first.
I said Vince. I've said this
Okay.
already.
All right, Vince. All right, I'm starting my own timer now.
Well,
all right?
I only think it's fair that it says in the rules that the person who won the rock, paper, scissors goes first.
No, that's bullshit.
No, you emphasize
Okay,
that
can the two
whoever-
of you not
Okay,
fight
fine. No,
over
I'll
who's
take it.
gonna
No,
give
no,
an
no.
opening
It's fine.
statement
It's
first?
fine. I'll go first. I'll go first. I got it. 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 Let me know when I can go.
May the moderator please prepare the timer and initiate the statement.
Timer.
May the moderator please prepare the timer. I'm doing this myself. Time
The
starts
timer
now.
has started.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start off by thanking first the Palmer Times, State Board of Elections, and the debate team. Most importantly, I'd like to thank you, the listener, whether you happen to be a supporter of mine or a supporter of my opposition. Tuning into this, you are a part of a pivotal moment in Ridgeway history. I'd like to start off by introducing myself. My name is Lieutenant Governor Vince Fant, and I have served our state throughout the past 4 months term. Prior to this, I served as a state senator for over 2 years, proposing over 40 bills. Moreover,
Lieutenant
I've
Governor at this
extensive-
time.
Sorry?
Lieutenant Governor at this time.
That was 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was.
All right, cool. Let me know.
Just
when
let
y'all
me finish. I'm not even done. Just let me finish. Just let me finish the red. Just
Go
let
ahead,
me
you can
the red.
finish. Yeah, go ahead.
ready.
Unbelievable. I'm here today because I'm running for governor. Along with me, my running mate, Knott's Feelings, a skilled lawyer, founder of Ridgeway's most successful law firm. Throughout this entire debate, you will hear me trip over my words and you will hear me stutter today. That is because nothing I say, nothing that comes out of my mouth has been scripted, but everything that comes out of my mouth comes directly from the heart. Thank you.
Governor Matrix, your timer begins now. Governor?
Matrix, go.
All right.
Governor,
Let
go.
me know my time. It starts now. Wait, all right, wait. Start it now though. Like, don't start it like
He said that.
15 seconds.
Go.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna start now. All right, so hello, residents of the great state of Ridgeway and members of the press corps. All right, tonight, Vince Finn and I, we're trying to secure your support in the upcoming gubernatorial election and make arguments for the vision we should have going forward. This election is not a contest of people or personalities. It's a test of our collective determination to bring our government into a renewed era of activity and to adapt to the changes brought on by Milton and the changing realities of our citizens that they are facing on a daily basis. All right, we're at a crossroads. You, the people, are faced with a leadership decision that is one of the utmost importance. The Milton Update is a new opportunity for our state to mold itself into a model for other groups to aspire to. I want to return our state to the stature it once held, a group that was far ahead of its time in the genre, and to the power and influence that Ridgeway once held in multiple
Governor, that is
communities that we
time.
interacted with. I'm going to continue because he continued. This is why I need your support in running for office a final term, to provide a state with tried and tested leadership experience that will guide us through the coming months as we attempt to reform the issues which have presented themselves due to its past inactivity. My opponent is running for this office because he thinks he could do a better job than I have for the past 2 terms. The fact of the matter is that he's ill-equipped to handle the challenges our state is now facing, and that under his leadership, we will be drawing ourselves into a Ridgeway with no clear path forward and risk losing the progress we've already worked so hard to achieve over the past couple of weeks. I ask you this. Do you want someone who's been disengaged with the community up until it was time to run for governor, or someone who's, through thick and thin, always put Ridgeway first? Like Kamala Harris trying to deliver a straight answer, the man standing across the stage
Governor,
from me
Governor,
not 10 days ago
I think you've reached your limit.
told me not 10 days ago. My last sentence.
Governor,
Definitely did
Governor,
not speak
it's-
this long.
it's-
I did not
My
speak
my
this
last
long.
my last.
We will now move on to the next
Actually,
section
you know-
of the debate. Prepared questions.
Ridiculous.
First question is, what will you do to make sure the government is productive and not quote unquote playing politics? And B, how will you attempt to maintain activity and transparency throughout your administration? Lieutenant Governor Vince, you have 4 minutes to go.
Sure, okay, it said 1 minute and 30 seconds, but
Oh.
of course, no government can operate alone. This is fundamentally something I believe to my core. Me and my running mate, Knott's Feelings, bring experience from each branch. I myself bring experience from the executive branch and the legislative branch. Knott's Feelings brings extensive experience from the judiciary branch. Matrix's only experience in the judicial branch is being indicted by a grand jury and relying on Knott's Feelings to save him from jail. How can a government perform properly and make decisions for the greater good of our citizens when it is fundamentally destroyed by the individual that possesses its leadership? Matrix is unethical, irrational, and only plays happy time when it's time to protect his power. We see him hosting events like pardons. We see him doing poker events. Why didn't he do this for the 5 months when Ridgeway was inactive? Thank you.
Governor Matrix, your time is starting.
Events like pardons? What the fuck is this guy talking about? All right, pardons aren't events, my friend.
Are we supposed to
They're
swear,
part-
moderators, in
they
this
are
event?
part-
Are we
they
Please
are
abide
part-
by.
Why is
Please
he
abide by
interrupting
the
me? Why is he
Discord.
interrupting me? Why is it no? This is TOS. I can swear. That's you said Discord TOS. TOS says you can't swear. And why is he interrupting me? Wasn't that in the rules that you're not supposed to interrupt people? And you about to yell at me? Relax.
Ladies,
Get
abide
yourself in
by-
order.
Vince
Respect.
Vance,
Why is he still interrupting me? Why?
Vince
This is my time. My time. God damn it.
Lieutenant
the
Governor,
time, sorry, everyone shut up. The time will reset. Vince Vance, please do not interrupt, and respectful conduct must be maintained as per Rule 4. Yep. All right, but I'm not a moderator, so this is a suggestion. I'm just stepping in because things are getting heated.
during the debate,
Absolutely.
and Governor,
I
please conduct
appreciate
yourself
it.
in an ethical and rational manner.
Let me know when you're ready for me to continue.
You may continue, Governor.
All right. So as he was saying, he said pardons are events. Pardons are part of the law. They're not events, my friend. Okay. And I'm not. And like he addressed these past couple of months. Why am I gonna host an event for a dead game? Like literally, the game is dead. 0 players every day for 4-5 weeks at a time. I'm gonna play with myself in the casino? Like, what are we talking about? All right. Second off, I'm gonna continue what I was saying for the first place. All right. With my opening statement, like Kamala Harris, all right, trying to deliver a straight answer. The man standing across the stage from me told me not 10 days ago he was planning to leave our community once his term ended, saying, and I quote, "Bro, I'm not locking in. I don't care about this Milton shit. Maybe like 50% of what I was before. Just letting you know." Now we're here. What this state needs is a consequential governor who will deliver for its people. How can one do that if he doesn't even believe in the game itself and its ability to survive? All right. If elected for a 3rd term, I intend on bringing forward a number of much needed changes to our state government. I believe important areas which need change are our Justice Department, how we treat our National Guard, and the overall weaponization of the legal system to prosecute our political opponents. All right. These all remain big issues on my agenda. Yeah. I'm not gonna play with myself in the casino for 5 weeks. Like, what are we talking
Governor,
about?
please refrain from using.
Wait, whoa, let
That's
him make
what
his
What are you
joke. Chill
talking
out, bro.
about?
He
The
could
question-
What the
Okay,
hell was I talking
hang
about?
on just a goddamn second. Everybody in here, how come everybody opens their mouth the moment the moderator starts talking? For Jesus Christ's sake, and stop interrupting each other and making shit terrible. For fuck's sake. Fucking God. If I have to step in,
you.
I will.
Governor, please refrain from using profanities like that.
Okay, and Matrix is gonna say okay
Profanities.
to that.
No,
Matrix
I'm
is
not.
gonna
I didn't
shut
use
his
profanities.
fucking trap.
No,
Governor, please silence yourself.
Matrix is gonna say okay to that, and we're
You're
gonna
gonna
move
shut your
on to the
mouth,
next
damn it.
things.
No, because I didn't use any profanities. I said I'm not gonna
God.
play by myself in a casino.
Okay, I will threaten to do terrible things, such as
You can end this, bro. If you remove me right now, this debate will be over. It'll be simple as that.
Mhm.
I'll be censored, and I'll
Matrix,
probably win the
can
vote
you
because
stop?
you're censoring me. So relax. This is not your debate, Large. Respectfully.
Okay.
Damn.
If you keep talking, I'm gonna
Can
end
we
it.
continue now? Like, shut up.
Governor, we may continue when you are ready to conduct yourself in a
I'm
rational
ready.
manner.
I'm ready. I am ready.
Good. The next The next question, we will be strictly enforcing time limits. Each candidate will have 1 minute to answer said question, and each opposing candidate, will be given 30 seconds to rebuttal. The first topic goes on public safety and criminal justice. How will you ensure that everyone in the government is held accountable for their actions? Lieutenant Governor, you have 1 minute.
Sure, this is an awesome topic actually, because if you look at Matrix's reused policies, you'll see that he has, I believe it was policy 5, and it was that he would improve public safety. Throughout his entire term, he's done nothing to improve public safety. In fact, his first term, he was indicted by a grand jury, directly breaking the law of Ridgeway. He's done nothing to improve our judicial system. Our judicial system is still in shambles. That directly impacts our Justice Department, our great Justice Department. Without them, we would not be prosecuting criminals, and we would not be supporting our law enforcement departments. How will I help the Justice Department? By implementing competent judges who are not new supplants in the way that Matrix is only appointing them so that he can win this election. Furthermore, another point of Matrix's policy is that he failed to help the Bar Association. He planned on creating educational initiatives to introduce more legal talent to Ridgeway, but he still hasn't. All of these things in total correlate directly to public safety, in which he has failed substantially.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Governor, your 30-second rebuttal starts now.
It's not rebuttal, or are you gonna ask me the question as
3
well?
seconds.
Rebuttal, 30 seconds.
Can you re-ask the question? That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
I would
I
like to
may.
answer the question. I don't need.
The topic
think
is
the form-
public safety and criminal justice. How will
Hold on,
you
just
ensure
can I
everyone in the
ask one
government
thing,
is
please?
held
Just
accountable
one
for their
second.
actions? Governor Matrix,
Why
you
is he interrupting me?
Just because I want to ask a question. I was
Lieutenant
supposed to
Governor,
ask.
please refrain from
You were asking.
interrupting.
Hold
Governor
on.
Matrix, you have
1
to stay.
second. Hold on.
Okay, cool. So as I was saying before, I was interrupted by Lieutenant Governor Vince Fent, and him taking my time. How will I be able to ensure that everyone in the government is held accountable for their actions? Is the question?
Sir, go ahead.
All right. So truly simple, straight up front. The governor has an auditor's office. All right. It's one that's been used, I believe, once throughout my entire term. It was at the start to kind of get a vision for all the departments. I must say that the department heads did not really appreciate the audit, but at the end of the day, it was an effective audit that it bared fruit, and it helped me understand coming in where everybody was at in terms of like activity, in terms of performance, etc. So those bared good results. As for the rest, with
Governor,
accountability
your
and
time
everything.
has ended. We will now turn to our second question, public safety and criminal justice. How will you ensure that these people's rights are being upheld? Lieutenant Governor Vince, you have 1 minute.
What? What was the question?
Sorry. How will you ensure that people's rights are being upheld in the state of Ridgeway? Lieutenant Governor Vince?
Well, how can people's rights be upheld if our very own governor does not respect the law? In his opening statement, he cited that he would persecute the Department of Justice for quote-unquote political campaigns. The governor is not aware that he can't even touch the Department of Justice. It's unconstitutional. The Attorney General is an elected official. How can the governor uphold the rights of our citizens if he wants to directly interfere with the inner workings of our Department of Justice? I will create cooperation between the executive branch, departments, and the judicial branch. That is how I will uphold the rights for citizens of Ridgeway. By fixing the courts, I will allow civil rights actions to go forward. Thank you.
Governor Matrix?
All right. How can you say that? One, I never said I was gonna persecute the Department of Justice. What are you talking about? Second off, one of my key promises is to actually work with the newly elected Attorney General to stop unjust prosecutions of citizens just like myself, to ensure a more fair and equitable justice system. Growing up in the hood of Sterling wasn't easy. All right, look at us now though. And on top of that, you talking about me being a criminal? Didn't you get arrested by You Found Seal when we were running our first time around? Talk about criminal. Weren't you arrested, begging me to pardon you? Please pardon me, Matrix. Please, I got arrested by You Found Seal. I beg of you. I'm on my knees, please. So I don't want to hear anything about, oh, I'm a criminal, this, and that. I got indicted, this and that. I was never arrested. Might have been indicted, but if I recall correctly, you were the one that were arrested, Mr. Lieutenant Governor.
You know what the
That's all
funny
I
thing
have.
is? The funny thing
That's
is
all I
that
have. I don't. Oh shit.
I think that has concluded it for that question. Our second sector will be ethics and
Whoa.
governance.
do I get a rebuttal?
Oh yes, you may get a rebuttal. Yes.
Okay, so why was I kicked? Like I don't understand.
No, I think that was an accident.
An accident. Okay.
But yeah, continue.
The
My bad.
funny thing is that if you recall, Stixa found no probable cause. I was unlawfully arrested. The thing with you is the only reason you didn't go to jail after being found there was cause through a grand jury.
On what?
What? A grand jury found you liable and they started the case. The only reason you didn't go to jail is because my running mate saved you, Walter, and Matthew Sandringham. They both defected to my campaign. Because they know you're guilty, they know you're a criminal, but they just won't admit it because they're under DCA. I yield my time.
I can rebuttal that.
Yes, you may.
All right. So nobody's arguing that Knott's feelings and Matthew Sandringham and all of them are great legal minds. Nobody's arguing that. And you're saying that Stixa found no probable cause. Stixa was a member of the Justice Department, and at the end of the day, you were arrested by a peace officer. Mind you, no action was taken against him because the arrest was ruled as lawful. There was no action taken against you, found sealed, because the arrest was lawful. All right. So that's what I'm saying. You get what I'm
The
saying?
arrest was lawful.
Hey,
Why wasn't I?
I'm talking.
If the arrest was
I'm
lawful,
talking.
Why wasn't I found guilty in the court of law?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Moderator. What the hell?
The probable cause hearing found me not liable, and the Department of
Probable
Justice
cause hearing?
Solicitor General.
There was no probable cause hearing was had.
The Solicitor General decided not to pursue probable cause.
But no
because I
probable
was not
cause
guilty.
hearing was had.
But a grand jury decided.
So now
to
you're
pursue
saying you
your
don't.
case
So now you're admitting there was no probable cause hearing. First there was, now there wasn't.
For intervening in
Stixa just had
R&D.
one.
Everyone,
So-
silence. We will move. We move.
All right, guys, I'm going to be taking over the next section of questions.
Actually,
Matrix.
all right. If you promise to be fair, then fine.
Matrix. Yeah.
If you're gonna be fair, then fine.
Okay. All
Because
right.
me and you got history.
Yeah. Ethics and governance. Question 1. Both of you have served in the same administration. Is there anything you believe was done wrong during the administration? And what would you do to prevent this from happening again? You will be given 1 minute starting now.
Ooh.
Sorry. Well, great question. Who answered last? It was a very long
Matrix
argument.
just had the
that
last
happened.
rebuttal. Matrix just had the
Okay.
last.
You can let Vince go.
Alright.
It's fine.
Vince, time starting now.
Actually, Dapper, that you just arrived here and we're talking about ethical behavior. Because your removal from the Ridgeway National Guard, which happened, I think, at the beginning of my term or just before it, was exactly what we're talking about when it comes to unethical behavior. Matrix decided to interfere directly in the administrative procedures within the Ridgeway National Guard, instead of allowing the Military Police Investigations Unit take its course. A quote that Matrix said, I may be directly not exactly what he said, but if I wanted you fired, you would have already been fired. How is that ethical? Instead of letting the governance of a department take its course, Matrix decided that what he says goes, and Dapper and Misty Pro are being removed. Instead of hiring people within Ridgeway, Matrix hires people from NUSA to be his chief of staff, and Peep GPT to be his chief policy and legislative officer. Why is he not bringing jobs from Ridgeway citizens in which he's running for governor of? Why is he not running for governor of NUSA?
Okay, now I have a question. So are those?
Oh, hold on.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Would you like your 30-second rebuttal, Matrix?
Absolutely.
All right, starting now.
Are those people not Ridgeway citizens? Is United not a Ridgeway citizen? Is PGPT not a Ridgeway citizen? And you bring up the past. Mind you, you have yet to actually answer the question, by the way. But you bring up the past and everything like that. But you said I was indicted and all this. Where I'm here now, right? And mind you, all those things included, you still ran with me for governor, right? What I say does go. That is correct. And I said, if you know what I'm saying, if I wanted you fired, you'd be gone, because again, that's the truth. If I wanted him gone, he'd be gone. But it wasn't me. That's why I'm still here, respectfully.
All right.
And again,
Thank
yes,
you,
what I say goes. It is
We
what
will
it
now.
is.
Would you like to answer the question of? Would you like me to repeat the question, rather? Sorry. Matrix.
Yeah, you can go ahead and repeat it.
All right. The question was, both of you have served in the same administration. Is there anything you believe was done wrong during the administration, and what would you do to prevent this from happening again? Your time starts now.
All right. Some of the things that I feel like not necessarily were done improperly, but some things that I definitely feel like I could have done better is making more changes when I had the chance. Towards the end of my second term, well, more towards the end of my first term, and into my second, we were so kind of caught up in the NUSA war, that the updates and the fun that came with that we kind of strayed away from like the actual paper pushing work of the governor's office and government entirely. I think I speak for the Senate when I say this, that there were not many pieces of legislation that were passed during that time other than war specific legislation. So upon re-entering office, I kind of plan to enact different executive orders on day one, while also pushing for our international initiative. This game requires us to make decisive decisions that not only allow for our people to enjoy the game, but also decisions that keep our game running and pushing forward, whether that be through legislation, executive orders, or both.
That is time. Vince Fant, would you like a rebuttal, or shall we go to the next question?
Yeah, I'm actually Matrix mentioned that there were no pieces.
Now.
There were no pieces of legislation passed after the declaration of war on NUSA. Let me count how many resolutions were passed after the declaration of war on NUSA. 1,
I didn't say
2,
none were. I didn't say
3,
none. That's a fact check.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exit Search Act. There were lots of pieces of legislation passed after NUSA. I think. Why aren't you doing anything? You're governor right now. Do you plan to do executive orders? Do it now, instead of just giving out awards.
Thank you, Vince.
Right.
That is
time. Can I rebuttal as well?
Well, last time we did a rebuttal to a rebuttal.
That was the rebuttal.
Yeah.
Knott's feelings. Why the hell are you talking? And all right, that's fine.
All right. Next question. What do you believe needs to happen in our government? Vince, your question or time starts now.
Sure. What we need in our government is more stabilization. We see irrational behavior from the other side. I want to bring cooperation. I want to bring transparency, truth, integrity, and especially less irrational behavior. I think that all the departments should work together, and they should function fluidly. We shouldn't see a focus on just one department like RNG. I want the Park Service. I want the Department of State to thrive with its private sector. I want the judiciary to thrive. I want everything to thrive with less corruption. I want fair hiring. I want everybody to be inclusive, but I also want things to grow. Fundamentally, we're at a crossroads, right? Clark and Firestone, even Mano County, are outpacing Ridgeway and players even after the Milton update. And all we're doing right now is arguing about whether we should let this man serve a third term doing the exact same things that he's been doing before, reusing policies from 2 terms ago, in which if you scroll up, his first policy has a picture of me in it.
Governor Matrix, would you like a rebuttal?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, your time begins now.
My first policy has a picture of you because it's the National Guard. It's a picture of you in the National Guard. What does that have to do with the policy itself? The policy itself is brand new. The picture is of you, not because you're my lieutenant governor, but because of the fact that you just happen to be on the graphic of a National Guard picture about a National Guard policy. All right. So let's use our 2 biggest brain cells, rub them together, and see if something good happens. Okay. Aside from that, actually, I get to answer the question. So for now, I'll just continue to rebuttal.
All right.
But yeah, oh, okay, that's fine then too.
Would you like me to restate the question for you to answer it, Matrix?
No, I believe the question is, what do you believe needs to happen in our government?
Correct. Your time starts now.
All right. So, like I was saying before, I want to work. One of my key promises is to work with the newly elected Attorney General to stop unjust prosecutions of citizens just like me, and again ensure a more fair and equitable system. Another plan I hope to implement is to kind of prop up the Ridgeway National Guard and create new initiatives to encourage activity within the ranks. I plan to initiate new opportunities in collaboration with other groups to allow for our National Guard to conduct things like joint combat trainings with other militaries so that we can be better equipped to handle future conflicts. I also plan to take on new positions in an effort to kind of recognize outstanding and continued service in the Guard by establishing more awards, special programs for outstanding Guardsmen, and kind of encouraging leadership to recognize continued efforts across the entire department. Another thing that needs to happen, many department heads, some of who have been in leadership positions for over 4 years, may God bless them. They're on their way
Thank
out
you,
and
Matrix.
are resigning at the conclusion of my term.
May I just quickly rebuttal for a short
Yeah.
period of time?
Your time begins now.
I think I want to just preface by saying Matrix said he has this whole attitude of what I say goes. That's not how I lead. I'm going to be a governor, not a dictator. I want to work with our departments and our Senate. He said before, if you remember me saying, he would intervene in the DOJ. Now he's changing it up by saying he will work with the DOJ. That's because he was supposed to say that he will stop the DOJ from prosecuting people like him. It all boils down to the fact that he's only worried about himself.
Thank you.
Why isn't he
Vince.
saying that he will support the DOJ in prosecuting
I'm
criminals?
working.
He's only worried about himself.
You say your time is over, pal.
Thank you, everybody. We will now move
Can I
on to the
rebuttal
next
now?
question. We cannot rebuttal the rebuttal.
Oh, it's again another rebuttal to the rebuttal to the rebuttal. Okay.
Yeah. We now have questions prepared for each candidate on this section. The next question is for Governor Matrix. Is there anything that you wish you could have done better? Please elaborate. Your time starts now.
I kind of touched on this already, but I felt like the thing that could have kind of did better was focus more specifically on kind of paper pushing during our NUSA war. Like I said, we kind of caught up in like the updates and like the whole fun that came with the war, and we weren't really focused too much on things outside the war. Vince, mentioned that there were X amount of resolutions or X amount of bills during the war, after the war, whatever the case may be. But like I said, most of those were war-related piece of legislation, a war-related piece of resolutions, or whatever the case may be. I'm sure that there probably was a couple, regular pieces of legislation, whatever the case may have been. But at the end of the day, like I said, I kind of speak for everybody when I say when the NUSA war came around, we were kind of all hands on deck. And I think that, again, we should kind of put ourselves back in a position of power where Ridgeway is, kind of above all else, above all genres. Right now, we see Clark is booming in numbers. And we need to get to a position where, back to where, kind of Ridgeway was seen as like the powerhouse of states.
Thank you, Matrix. This is a question for each candidate, so there will be no rebuttals for this one. Next is the question for Vince. It is Lieutenant Governor Vince Fant. Do you believe you could have handled Senate affairs better? Please elaborate. Your time starts now. Vince is where is Governor Vince or Lieutenant Governor Vince? Vince Fant.
Governor Vince is crazy.
We will take a brief intermission while Mr. Vince Fant is reconnecting.
How's the guy gonna play the game? How you got a governor who can't even play the game? He's lagging out of VCs. What's going on?
We'll take
bro,
this
That guy
time
get a new
to
router.
Bro, watch your mouth, bro.
welcome back,
Time-
Vince Fant. Would you like me to repeat the question?
Oh, I heard the question.
All right, your time begins now.
Again, I actually concur with Matrix on this. We touched on this before, but the game went inactive. But I fundamentally think I was one of the most stable, if not respectable, lieutenant governors. Matrix's last pick, mandatory morale, impeached Techie, our beloved attorney general, out of spite for prosecuting him. I worked with the Senate directly, and that's why I have the endorsements from the active senators. Currently, We are expelling 2 inactive senators, that being Boom Blast and Okogie. Both of them have not attended a session over 200 days. What do I think I could have done better? I think fundamentally the Senate needs more order. And that's something that with my lieutenant governor candidate and his expertise in the legal area, we can provide that. Overall, I maintained activity within the Senate. I maintained order within the Senate.
Thank you,
I
Vince.
revitalized the Senate.
We will now move on to the next section of questions. Politics. What makes you different from your opponent? Governor Matrix, your time starts now.
I just feel like it's experience where it really comes down to experience and maturity. When all is said and done, you know, I can be that funny, goofy guy. I can be the guy that stands up for himself too. I could be the underdog. I could also be the governor. Like, you know, my point is at the end of the day, I just feel like I can wear different hats at different times. I feel like Vince wears one hat, maybe 2 hats, and it's just like he's stuck in kind of that mindset or that kind of mode where it's just like, oh, if somebody disrespects me, it's over. Like, you know, like I'm hood. I'm from Canada. You know, I'll mess you up, man. And then there's that kind of side to him where he's like professional too. So I just feel like that's what kind of separates the both of us. I feel like I can be a lot of places at once. I can be a lot of different people at one time. I got a lot of things going on. It's kind of necessary for this kind of job, especially with, again, experience. It's a big part of it. You know, I can provide
Thank
stride
you.
and tested leadership.
That's time.
Right, say my piece on that.
Would
I'm not
you
going to
like a
rebuttal.
No rebuttal? All right.
I
Would
just
you
want
like
to
the
say my
question to be
piece on
restated?
how I'm different.
Your
Yes.
time begins now.
I'm not a leader. I'm a leader. I'm not a dictator. I prioritize the rule of law over my own personal interests. With me, it's not what I say goes. That's not how I lead. A word that I keep saying throughout this debate is cooperation. It's one of the pillars of my policies. I know how to get things done, and I don't just talk about getting things done. For the past 2 terms of Matrix's tenure, what has he gotten done besides 3 wars and getting a job in Noosa? I can wear different hats. A lot of the moderators know me as a person that is jokingly. You see me right now, I'm passionate about this. I provide a new voice. I provide a new beginning for the future of Ridgeway. Matrix is an irrational man with rage problems. I'm not hood. I may be from Canada, but I know how to change things up. And right now, Ridgeway fundamentally needs change.
Thank you, Vince.
All right. Can I rebuttal?
Your rebuttal time begins now.
All right. So I don't know if anybody caught that, but guys, he just said he's not a leader. If you guys play that back, you know, after the
Remember
debate or
me
whatever.
saying, I may
Wait,
stutter.
whoa, I'm
Vince,
I may
talking.
pause.
I'm talking.
Vince,
I'm talking.
please. The rebuttal timer has been paused and will resume now.
Again, guys, he's just said he's not a leader. Okay, play that back. All right. And he also said he follows the rule of law. Again, you're the only one on the stage who's been put in cuffs and arrested by a member of our law enforcement. All right. God bless the state police. God bless Matt Cern. God bless GD Steele. God bless all of them. True patriots.
That is
Give me a
time.
rebuttal on that one.
No, you can't rebuttal the rebuttal.
Are you the moderator?
You can't rebuttal the rebuttal.
Rebuttal.
Thank you.
All right.
No problem.
Let's see. Next question is, how will you look at setbacks from the Senate and other positions? Matrix just rebutted, so it's Matrix's turn. Matrix, your time begins now.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, it's how will you look at setbacks from the Senate or any other position?
All right, let me know when I'm.
Chat.
Timbo,
is there
Yeah, I'm not.
Is there a clerical error here, Timbo? Could you Okay. Next question is, well, that concludes the section actually. The next section is legislative agenda. Question 1. What is your main legislative priority? Whose turn was it? Say, legislative priority. 1 minute on the clock. Vince, your time starts now.
My main legislative priority is introducing administrative laws that expand upon the discretion of background checks and improve transparency. Furthermore, I plan on imposing term limits, and don't get scared, department heads, term limits for the executive branch. I'm tired of seeing governors and lieutenant governors serve 3, 4, however many terms. Ridgeway needs change, and Ridgeway needs change sooner. Those are my main topics. And again, I clarify, unlike my opposition, I do not plan on quote-unquote shuffling around department leadership.
Are you yielding the rest of your time?
I guess I would input that I plan on working with department leadership directly to expand upon their departments and help them to grow, not just focusing on one department like in the past
Thank
Matrix
you,
has.
Vincent.
Okay.
Matrix, would you like a rebuttal?
Sure.
Your
kinda
30
just said-
seconds begins now.
You talked about not shuffling department heads, my friend. You've been trying to get rid of Matt Stern for how long now? Didn't you one time
Any
ask me?
evidence?
Wait, whoa, I'm talking. Didn't
Alright,
you ask me? Yo, moderator, you gotta do something about this. It's
The
getting
rebuttal
ridiculous.
time has been paused. I ask that the candidates, Vince Fant, respect Matrix's right to rebuttal without interruption. The timer will resume now.
You talk about me, talk about you shuffling department heads. Didn't you try to get rid of Matt Stern? Haven't you been trying to get rid of Matt Stern since I was elected? Didn't you ask me when I was on vacation to make you interim governor instead of staying as governor while on vacation so that you could try and get rid of Matt Stern? Like, isn't that true? Try to get rid of Parks,
Thank
you
you,
know,
Matrix.
Roblox Wolf, gut the
I
command.
have to
Thank
rebuttal
you,
for this.
everyone.
I have to rebuttal to this because this
Well, he
is
has to ask me
Well,
the question now. Actually,
it's a blatant lie. You
It's
can't
not- it's
say
not a
something
blatant
like
lie.
remember
Why-
one of the
why are you still
rules.
talking?
Everyone,
Why are you still
attention.
talking?
Attention.
Okay.
We will begin with the next question. Vince Fant,
Unbelievable.
if you have proof of misinformation on the part of Matrix, I ask you to send it to Timbo Walk, and we will review this and bring it up if it has merits.
Fact-checking,
Matrix.
And
would you
we're
like
not
me-
fact checking.
This is a fact.
Where are the facts? You can't say something like that without a fact. Where is the cold hard evidence that I'm trying to remove Matt Stern? You said
Bro,
not too long ago that you're
I
shuffling
said
around
in the
department
past
leadership.
that you literally tried. Wait, moderate. What are we doing right now?
Yeah,
Are you
everybody-
want us to do this or what?
We're gonna move on to Matrix's question or response. If
Wait,
you
alright,
have
so can you
evidence
ask the
of
question, please?
misinformation, Mr. Vince, please send it to Timbo and it will be dealt with. Matrix, would you like the question restated?
Absolutely, sir.
It is, what is your main legislative priority? Your time begins now.
My main legislative priorities is gonna be warfare authority. I think it's important that I think during our wars with Firestone and Noosa, we didn't really get enough kind of warfare authority to our National Guard and our State Guard. So I do want to work on kind of beefing up our military and kind of getting more, legislative agendas out for our military, especially during times of war and things like state of emergencies. Even though we don't have them often, I feel like it's very important because during these times, it's kind of probably some of the most, critical times for the National Guard and State Guard, and one of the more like kind of funner times, to kind of experience the game and kind of just have fun going game, be deployed. A lot of the time they're just sitting at base and patrolling around the base. So I think getting them to a position with more power where they're kind of a beefier military, I think that's important. So legislating that. I also want to work, this is going to be kind of internal, but having a more autonomous military. On day one, I'll be releasing executive order kind of aimed at having a more autonomous military.
Matrix.
That's time.
Vince, would you like your rebuttal?
Yeah, sure.
30 seconds begin now.
I'm the Command Sergeant Major, third in command of the Ridgeway National Guard. But why are we so focused on only providing help to one department when we have departments like the Park Service, Palmer Police Department, who may at this time right now be at their low because of the release of Milton and multiple transfers to MCPD? Why do we want more wars? Why should we not increase foreign relationships? We should increase foreign relationships.
Thank you.
He's
Vince
focusing. I'm
Vance.
not done. He's
It's gonna be
focusing on
time.
foreign
Whoa,
affairs.
whoa,
We need to
whoa,
work on our state.
yo.
Thank you,
He's
Vince
bugging.
Vance. We will now
He's
move on
bugging.
to the next
Hey,
question.
enough. Thank you.
How will you make sure your constituents are being heard? Vince Fant, your time begins now.
So, I think if you look at it this way, like I said, Senate policy is something that I focus on. I want the citizens to directly speak to the senators on what their issues and legislation is. We want public communication between the Senate. That's our platform. Through my Lieutenant Governor Walter, we will enforce that. It already is being enforced, but we'll open up a policy suggestion tip line. And of course, what I say is not always what goes.
Will that be all?
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you busy finishing your time?
All right. Matrix, would you like your rebuttal?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Your time begins now.
At the end of the day, it's important to kind of like see all sides of this. And I agree that, you know, especially I'll answer that when when he asked me the question, but tapping into like what he said about lieutenant governors, I agree. Use the skills that are not necessarily in our wheelhouse to kind of tap into our lieutenant governors and give them a little bit of autonomy to kind of help us on the sides that, we can't really control. As a governor, I don't control everything. There's plenty of things I don't control and
Thank
plenty
you.
of things that.
That's time.
Matrix, would you like me to restate the question for you?
Sure.
How will you make sure that your constituents are being heard? Your time begins now.
All right. So like I was just saying, I'm going to talk a little bit about shadow culture and his experience in law enforcement and how I will use that to make sure that my constituents are being heard. Like I said, I'm a former law enforcement officer, a former county boardsman, a former senator. Like I've done a lot of things in this group. And my lieutenant governor is a seasoned law enforcement veteran from Noosa, from Ridgeway, from Mayflower, even Clark. All right, he's been a cop, since the game released. So I know exactly, what law enforcement needs. He knows exactly what law enforcement needs, and we're gonna address those issues through him. And obviously, I'm gonna be tapped into all of those things because again, I have experience in those areas. But I feel like again, PPD, all right, Ridgeway Park Service, all right, the fire department, all right, RCTA, all these other departments that kind of haven't been mentioned yet. I feel like it's important that we tap into all of them and kind of give them new ways to kind of evolve because.
Thank you, Matrix. Vince, would you like your rebuttal?
Fine. What's the next question?
Okay, well, that concludes the questions for the gubernatorial candidates, and we are actually moving on to running mates after this. Please stick around as we do have the free-for-all at the end, but I would like to introduce the running mates. Running alongside candidate Vince Fant is Knott's Feelings, and running alongside Matrix OC is Shadow Culture. Each candidate will have 45 seconds to introduce themselves. Oh, wait. Vince, closing statements are at the very end, after the free-for-all. Anyways, the running mates will have 40 seconds to introduce themselves. Sorry. Starting with, well, we'll do rock, paper, scissors again. Go ahead and DM your emojis to Timbo, and he will announce the winner. Again, we are DMing because there is a delay with ping and internet connection, so we do not want the candidates to take advantage of that. So Timbo will announce the winner, and they will introduce themselves.
That's
okay.
crazy.
What? I'm so confused.
Watch us tie again.
Would you guys prefer
Shit,
that I
I want to
release the...
recount. I want to fucking recount.
Ladies and gentlemen, please maintain a decent composure.
I have a quick question before we begin. Would you guys prefer that I release the ballot now or after this is over?
After the debate. What?
Okay.
Large, fuck them. Release
After.
it now. Don't listen to them.
Fuck them?
Yeah,
No.
fuck
Excuse
Sam.
me?
Release it now. Yeah,
wanna
fuck
screw me?
Sam.
Pause.
This is very questionable
The
statements
community
by
manager.
Ronald Download.
Thank you.
Hey, yo.
I think we should... All right. Nuts feelings. Who do you want to go first?
Shadow can go first.
Shadow. Your 45-second introduction begins now.
How appropriate you say farted, because I'm on the toilet, so I'd like to apologize. I don't have any of my papers with me,
Your
but
time is
my
going
name,
right
Please.
my name is Shadow Culture. I am Matrix OC's Lieutenant Governor candidate. I am a seasoned law enforcement veteran, as he stated, from a multitude of different communities, and I look forward to bringing not only my law enforcement experience, but my experience with both criminals and our residents that we interact with to the table to help, kind of guide and direct the Senate in ways that'll benefit all members of our community. I yield my time.
All right. Knott's feelings. Your 45-second introduction begins now.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Walter. I'm running to be your Lieutenant Governor with Vince Vance. Practicing criminal defense attorney. And in my prime, my firm has served over 200 clients. Many of you are probably in the audience. Through my work, I've been defending civil rights and your right to a complete criminal defense across the state. I think that this election boils down to this. Do we want to be stagnant? Or do we want to make progress, abandon the status quo, and be competitive once again?
Thank you. We are now going to move on to the questions. Running mates will have 1 minute to answer and a 30-second rebuttal period. The running mates will now answer the questions, starting with Senate agenda. In what way would you work with the Senate to ensure the governor's agenda is being pursued? Shadow Culture, your time starts now.
So I think one way that will work, first off, Matrix and I have met and we will continue to meet, to make sure that not only we're starting off on the same page, but that we're maintaining the same page as we flip through the book. But to hold the Senate accountable, I plan to take those discussions that I have with Matrix and inform the Senate on those. So that the Senate doesn't need to make legislation based on the governor's agenda. It's up to them to represent their constituents. But I think it's important that everybody has an idea of what each other's expectations are. That way we can, when we sit down for sessions, we can come to the table well informed of what it is that Senator X and Senator Y want versus what Senator Z wants. I do plan to support Matrix's agenda in terms of, the ways to stimulate the National Guard, as I believe that they are underdeveloped. But I also plan to bring, some of my own agenda and advise Matrix on that as well, related to law enforcement.
Thank you, Shadow. Knott's feelings. Would you like a 30-second rebuttal, or would you like the question?
I'll rebut if that's okay.
All right. Your time for rebuttal starts now.
Thank you. I'm concerned, I would say, at the lack of a concrete plan. I mean, what I'm hearing from the candidate opposite is that we are going to inform the senators about what we want. That does nothing. They already do that, right? Coupled with a distinct lack of recent experience in the legislature, I have no confidence that these plans are going to come into action at all.
Thank you.
That's gonna be your
We will
time.
now move on to the next question.
Now, I want to rebut on that, because what's your experience, dude? I mean, you're a lawyer. You're not a fucking senator. I mean, you don't have any experience.
Hold on.
And you're new to this community.
Are you
Gentlemen,
done?
Gentlemen,
Be
attention.
quiet.
Order in
Shut
the
the
court.
fuck up.
Order in the court. Order in the court. The next question is over ethics and politics. How will you ensure that order is maintained on the floor of the Senate? Wait, Feelings didn't get to answer the question?
I didn't answer the last question. I was going to say I didn't want to cut you off, but
Oh, that was the rebuttal. Okay, sorry. Knott's feelings, would you like the question restated? Terribly sorry about that.
Yeah, could you restate the question, please?
Yes. In what way would you work with the Senate to ensure the governor's agenda is being pursued? Your time begins now.
Thank you. I plan to work with the Senate using my experience as a lawyer and my experience as the Senate parliamentarian, something that Mr. Shadow Culture would have no knowledge of, to advance the agenda of the governor and to support the senators in advancing the agendas of the citizens they represent. At the end of the day, the Senate serves the people. And if the Senate is unable to meet, if the Senate schedule is hidden, if news agency, if the free press is not able to attend the Senate sessions and be able to broadcast the proceedings of the Senate, what are we doing? Right? We need competence in the Senate. Half of the bills that were just put on the governor's desk were returned to the Senate because the Senate doesn't know how to write good bills. We are at a fundamental loss of competence, of accountability, transparency. There's nothing going on in the Senate right now.
Mr. Feelings.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I want to
Shadow,
rebut on that.
Your time begins now.
Okay, so first off, let's just clarify that you basically regurgitated the same thing that I said. Besides that point, though, we'll skip over to the fact that you can't determine who is a senator, so you can't decide or fix the competency. That's up to the constituents, the voters, to decide who gets into office. You can't do anything about that. Let's be realistic about our expectations. Sure, of course, my plan is to hold them accountable to attend sessions. Why would I be running for lieutenant governor if I didn't want to have sessions? That is my job. That is the primary job of mine.
Thank you,
But-
Shadow. We will now move on to the question. Next question. It is over ethics and politics. How will you ensure that order is maintained on the floor of the Senate? As president. Okay, these are not numbered. There seems to be a clerical error. I will restate the question, however. How will you ensure that order is maintained on the floor of the Senate? Mr. Feelings, your time begins now.
Whoa. I thought I was going first. I've been going first
Right,
at
sorry.
every other question.
Okay. Mr. Shadow, your time begins now.
So I plan to leverage, I have real world leadership experience, through the schools that I've gone to and then the things that I do in my personal life. But on top of that, I have leadership experience on the platform as well. That's a little bit more related. I've been in leadership with RCSO for the past 2 years, I believe, in some form or capacity. And I'm no stranger to leading 100+ men. Now, I can definitely manage, the amount of senators that we have. It's all about building a rapport with the senators. If they respect you, then, they'll listen. We can maintain order through that way. I don't plan on strong arming or anything. I just plan on building relationships with the senators that I work with and using that to my advantage in order to, keep the Senate floor in order. I don't plan on having any issues with that. I haven't had any in RCSO, and I certainly don't expect it to be the case in the Senate.
Thank you, Shadow. Mr. Feelings, would you like a rebuttal or would you like to answer the question?
I'll rebut.
All right, your time starts now.
The fundamental difference is that the Senate does not respond to Lieutenant Governor's orders. The Senate is governed by the standing rules, and senators are free to act out if they so wish. We can build a rapport, but it doesn't matter if they're advancing their own personal political agenda.
Is that all? All right.
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to restate the question for you?
Yes, please.
And brief intermission before that, however, the election ballot has officially been released in government updates. The ballot for gubernatorial election is as follows. Listed the governor and lieutenant governor respectively, Matrix OC and Shadow Culture, going against Vince Fant and Knott's Feelings. The ballot for Secretary of State is as follows. Dominic, Tactical Rummy, Abe, and I'm TJ Matt. The ballot for Attorney General is as follows. I'm Not Rummy, Matthew Sandringham, and Adam Stratton. The polls open in 2 hours and will close on Sunday, January 26th, 12 a.m. Eastern Standard. I encourage everyone who is eligible to vote and exercise your democratic rights. We will now return to the questions. Knott's Feelings, your question was, how will you ensure that order is maintained on the Senate? Your time begins now.
Thank you. Order is maintained in the Senate by exercising the powers in the standing rules. The Senate has certain powers, and the Lieutenant Governor, as the President of the Senate, has certain powers. It's the President of the Senate's job to exercise those powers to keep order, right? Everything in the Senate is governed by those rules. Everything. And I'm concerned because with a lack of recent experience, I'm not sure that Shadow has the knowledge to keep order. Does he know how contempt of Senate proceedings work? Does he know about Robert's rules and how do we keep order? How do we manage who gets to talk? Is there a speaking list? Does he know how someone gets ejected from the Senate? All of these are yet to be answered. If we don't have a lieutenant governor who has the tools, who has the knowledge, and who has the background experience to actually be in legislatures
Thank you,
and keep order,
Felix.
how are we going to proceed?
Thank you. Mr. Shadow, would you like your rebuttal?
Yes.
Your 30 seconds begins now.
I would just like to point out the fact, Mr. Knott's Feelings, Attorney Knott's Feelings, Esquire. I'm a two-time senator. Where's your Senate experience? Have you ever served on the Senate? Have you
Yes.
proposed any laws? Because don't speak while I'm speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Have you proposed a bill that started the war with NUSA? Did you do something of that importance? I don't even think you've served on the Senate. So for you to come at me saying that I have no recent experience is false. It's absolutely blatantly false. I yield my time.
Thank you. We will now move on to the next question. As President of the Senate, how do you ensure people's voices are being heard in the legislative branch? Shadow, your time starts now.
So as President of the Senate, Knott's Feelings has made it, unequivocally clear that that the standing rules are the way that I manage the Senate. So it's not my place to necessarily be proposing legislation, but I do work close with the senators. So, I do listen to constituents. I will listen to the constituents that are voicing the matrix myself, and I will work with the Senate to make sure that, the bills that they are proposing are ones that will benefit the largest majority and, again, their constituents. My place is to maintain order within the Senate and to ensure that everybody is accountable and active. Outside of that, it's up to the individual senators themselves at the core of it to make sure that they are representing the people they need to and proposing the legislation that their constituents want and deserve.
Thank you, Shadow. Mr. Feelings, would you like to rebuttal?
We can go to the question.
Okay. Would you like me to restate the question?
Yes, please.
As President of the Senate, how would you ensure people's voices are heard in the legislative branch? Your time begins now.
This all comes down to our legislative platform, right? Which has been posted. It's public in our campaign server. The Senate schedule must be public. The Senate must have designated sitting times. The Senate should also be convening more often to have working sessions where they are able to pass amendments to bills, have readings of the bills, and have generally good, friendly, structured debate about the merits of the legislation before the chamber. That being said, we can't rely on simply DMing senators to work, right? Allowing public participation, allowing time for citizens to come into the chamber and speak to the senators on the floor allows for more honest feedback coming from the citizens, and it allows for the senators to hear directly from them in a manner where they are accountable.
Thank you, Mr. Feelings. Shadow, would you like your rebuttal?
Sure.
Your time begins now.
So I'll touch. I do agree with what Knott's Feelings is saying to an extent. I do plan to hold senators accountable for their participation in the Senate. I will, maintain a activity roster where we're double checking that, they're showing up on time, and we'll move swiftly, quickly, and effectively to get them out if they're not upholding their constituents' desires. But on top of that, it's not really, we're all grown adults. It's not my job to hold hands. It's the senator's
Thank
job
you,
to get the.
Shadow. We will now go on to my brain just died. I am so sorry. The next question. What makes you better as president of the Senate as opposed to the alternative candidate? Shadow, your time begins now.
Leadership and experience. 2 words that can sum up that exact question. I don't even need to say more, but I'll expand on that a little bit. I have leadership experience, something that Knott's Feelings has none of as an attorney. And I have Senate experience, which is also Senate experience as a senator, which is something that Knott's Feelings does not have. Sure, he's a parliamentarian, but that does not relate to the president of the Senate directly like a senator would. Boil those 2 things down. I think the most important part is the leadership aspect, and that's something that the current Senate needs, something that the current Senate does not have at this moment. Lieutenant Governor Vince Fant has not been active with the Senate. Here in the last week or 2, we've seen sessions, but that's not even counting the time leading up to the release of Milton, where he should have been acting, where he failed his job as president of the Senate, and the Senate lied dormant until after the release of Milton. There was ample time to have policies and legislation in place for the launch of Milton,
Shadow.
but he failed. He failed.
Mr. Feelings, would you like your rebuttal?
Yes, please.
Your time begins now.
Thank you. Let's start with no leadership experience. I was the director of the state bar. I led a large law firm. I don't know where this notion came from. I also was, in fact, a senator, which has been noted many times in the general chat. And being parliamentarian allows me to have in-depth knowledge of the rules. Again, you're saying Vince Fant should have done more to be prepared when he's not allowed to propose legislation. Where are the senators to propose legislation?
Thank you, Feelings. Would you like me to restate the question for you, Mr. Feelings?
Yes, please.
It is, what makes you better as president of the Senate as opposed to the alternative candidate? Your time begins now.
Thank you. I believe that I am better suited to be president of the Senate based on my extensive experience with the rules. It's the president's job to enforce the rules and to ensure that order is maintained. That's it. He can't propose legislation. He acts as a liaison between the governor and the senators, sure, but that's not the main role. The main role is to be the president of the Senate. It's as simple as that.
Will you yield the rest of your time?
Yes, we'll yield.
I'd like to rebut.
Shadow, your time for rebuttal begins now.
Let me just point out the fact that I've never once stated, and in fact, I've stated the opposite, that I would produce legislation. I made it clear that I understand that that is not my responsibility. What I'm saying is that we need leadership. And one, to rebut your former point, you were never elected as a senator, you were appointed. And then on top of that, the rules, yes, they're important, but again, we need leadership. We need people like Vince Fant to step up and hold the senators accountable to make sure that they're in there. And if they're not, get them out. Why are we waiting so long? Why is Vince Fant waiting until the end?
We will now move on to the next question. These are on productivity. How will you ensure the Senate meets often and is showing signs of... I'm sorry, there's a grammatical error. So let me reread this. How will you ensure the Senate meets often and is showing signs of activity and productivity? Shadow, your time begins now.
So on the scheduling part, we will, I will work with the Senate to make sure that we have a schedule set up where we meet on a frequent basis, whether that's weekly or bi-weekly, that's to be determined with, the Senate at that time. On top of that, like I said, I plan to have, an activity spreadsheet where I'm monitoring the senators. And on top of that, fielding concerns from constituents and from the other senators to make sure that not only, are we holding the people accountable, but that we actually take action when necessary. And, priority, I wouldn't say number one, but very top of the list, is making sure that we get the dead weight out. You know, we need a quorum in order to hold sessions. And I think that's been a problem with this past Senate, is that, you know, quorum wasn't maintained, and rather than do something about it, we just kind of sat there with our hands under our ass and bitched about it instead of actually taking action like somebody like me. So what we need is action, accountability, and I will be there for that.
Mr. Feelings, would you like a rebuttal?
No, could you just repeat the question, please?
The question is, how will you ensure the Senate meets often and shows signs of activity and productivity? Your time begins now.
I agree a lot with Mr. Shadow on this matter. There needs to be a set schedule. There needs to be frequent meetings. These are all things that any good lieutenant governor candidate would agree on. I intend to take it a step further. There is no need for a 7-person Senate to have committees. Things go to committee and they die. In order to bring the Senate back to activity, to push things through the Senate at an appropriate speed, committees should be abolished. And that is something that I will push for with the senators. The senators are able to meet more frequently and have working sessions where they can propose amendments and debate the merits of the legislation. Not every Senate session should be, standing there going, all in favor? Yes. Okay. All in favor? Yes. This is not how the Senate should work. We need to do more to encourage debate between the senators.
Thank you, Feelings. Shadow, would you like to rebut?
No rebuttal.
All right. Next question. Oh, that concludes the questions, actually. So we will now go to the free-for-all. All candidates.
Is this like a pack session? Is that what this is?
Yes. This is a
Matrix.
session.
You and me got this, dude.
Matrix
OG
and
Noosa.
Vince, get up here, Matrix and Vince. Everyone unmute.
Yo.
Profanities and slurs, or is that not allowed?
If it
No,
is
sir,
within the terms of service, you may break any debate rules, but not any terms of service. All right, on your mark, get set, go.
Vince,
Why
you're
haven't you
fucking
pardoned?
weak. Vince, you're
Oh,
weak. You're a spineless.
Vince, you a bum ass bozo.
You're
You
inexperienced.
bozo ass dude.
Why haven't you
I'm not gonna lie,
pardoned
you
GD
suck.
Steele? Why
Speak
haven't you
Worst
up.
pardoned
lieutenant
GD Steele?
governor
Why haven't you
ever.
pardoned GD
Worst
Steele?
lieutenant governor ever.
Why
I
haven't you
don't
pardoned
think
GD
Vince,
you
quit
could have
your
possibly
dick.
picked
Why
the worst
haven't
lieutenant
you
governor
pardoned
in my life.
Steele?
You are the worst
Speak up,
lieutenant
Vince.
governor
Why
I have ever
And
had.
your lack of
Mandatory
penetration.
morale.
Pardon
Mandatory
GD
morale
Steele
was better
now.
than you, Vince.
Why
Mandatory
haven't
morale
you
was better than
pardoned
for you,
GD
and that
Steele?
says a lot because
Why
mandatory
haven't
morale
you
was a
pardoned
twink.
GD
He was a
Steele?
twink.
Why
He was a
haven't you
twink.
pardoned
He was a
GD Steele?
goddamn
Out of your
twink.
mouth.
And he was
Why
standing on
haven't
your
you
ass.
pardoned
He was
GD
behind you.
Steele?
Mandatory morale was better than you as lieutenant governor.
Listen,
That says a
everyone,
lot
while these
because he's a
children
goddamn
talk,
twink.
let's talk
Do you
about the real
understand?
tragedy of this debate.
You
The fact
understand?
that Peace and I were left out of this.
Yo,
So
facts.
true.
Like, yo, what is
So
up
true.
with this like mainstream
I'm-
media
I'm
suppression?
for peace
Like
and
they
Unbelievable.
already know that we'd win. I did no campaigning and I'm on the
for peace
ballot.
and
Like these
love.
guys are scared. These guys are
Unbelievable.
cowering.
Why
Yo,
wasn't
peace
GD
down low.
Steele
Shut your stupid ass up,
pardoned yet?
nigga.
Yo, shut up. That's why you wanted me to be your lieutenant governor. I declined like 3 times,
Yeah.
boy.
Why wasn't GD
What's up
Steele
with you, bro?
pardoned yet?
Yo,
What's up with
free
you, bro?
GD Steele. Free GD Steele.
I'm not gonna lie. Yo.
On day one, I'm pardoning
Yo,
GD Steele.
GD still has yet to file a pardon.
I
He has
already
yet
got
to
the
come
GD
to
Steele
me.
pardon
And he asked me
application written down
personally,
right
he
now.
gonna
I just
pardon.
gotta submit it when I get elected.
Send it in. Send it in.
GD Steele
Just gotta
GD Steele
submit
has
it when I
yet
get
he's yet
elected.
to
I already
offer
got it
you.
right now.
Oh,
The
GD
pardon form
still
already
send the
done.
application. I'm not gonna lie, Vince. You have to be the worst lieutenant governor pick I've ever made in life. I inherited mandatory morale, and like I said, bro,
Is
that's
that
That's
why
why
you
mandatory morale. That's why mandatory morale
morale
impeached Techie.
was a
That's why
twink.
mandatory impeached
a
Techie for
twink
you.
who literally did everything.
Isn't this homophobia? I don't know. That sounds pretty
I think you
homophobic. He
understand.
said queer in
He was
general, and
better
now
than
he's
you.
saying
He
twink.
was
That
way
kind of
better
sounds
than
like
you.
it's against
Yeah.
TOS.
Nah, he's like locked in with the gay terms. That's not
All right,
homophobic.
look at those. Vincent, look at those crowd sizes.
Matrix
pal.
versus
Look at the crowd
minorities
sizes.
and
Look at the
the
goddamn crowd sizes, okay?
Everybody,
I
ladies
don't
and
promote
gentlemen,
homophobia.
it has
It's
been
just
a
me. I'm
pleasure.
pardoning GD Steele today.
Yes,
I don't
it-
need
You're gonna
anything
get backdoored, pal.
Hey, whoa.
Free GD Steele.
Matrix said take it up the back door. Is that what I heard?
Damn.
That glorious king has risen from the shadows of absurdity.
We still have closing statements. I have really. This is great. This is the best part of the debate. All right. Each candidate has 45 seconds to deliver their closing statements. Lieutenant Governor and Governor. We will begin with Governor and Matrix OC. Your closing statement, you have 45 seconds. Your time begins now.
It's been an absolute pleasure to serve you all as governor. I hope you guys allow me to do it one more time. I'm getting a DM from mandatory morale right now, asking if he was a good lieutenant governor. You know, listen, morale, you were better than Vince. I'll give you that one. You did a hell of a job in the Senate. All right. If you guys want more information on my campaign, please look up www.project25.com.
2025. Project 2025.
www.project25.com.
Wow, this
I
guy's out of
repeat.
touch.
All right. Listen, we are doing great things. We are doing great things. All right. At the end of the day, you know, we're gonna defeat the left. All right. It's absolutely insane. Listen, we have Kamala Harris and Governor Kim Walz on the other side of this
Thank
goddamn.
you, Matrix.
You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable.
Thank you, Matrix. All right. Vince Fant, your closing statement. You have 45 seconds beginning now.
If you listen to the last 1 minute, argument that we had, all you heard was just hate. All it was that Matrix was spewing was hate. There is no rational behavior, just anger. Do you voters want another term of anger, another term of no growth, no movement? He does this for elections, and then when it comes down to the rest of the term, he's appointing his friends from Noosa because he needs them to win. I am the candidate of growth. Me and Knott's feelings
not a
are
shower?
here to bring. Why is he interrupting? Me and Knott's feelings are bringing ethical behavior, rational behavior, growth and prosperity to Ridgeway.
Thank you, Vince.
You allow Matrix to continue.
Thank you,
with
Vince.
your
Growth by
term.
Thank you, Vince.
conquest.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Vince.
Mr. Vince
All
Finn.
right. Shadow Culture, your closing statement. Your time begins now.
Well, I would like to take a break from that, and first off, just thank my lieutenant governor competitor. I can't think of the word right now. Knott's feelings. You know, it was a good debate, but more importantly, I would like to thank the constituents that are placing their trust in both Matrix and I. While I do agree that having decorum and composure is important, let's remember this is a video game. And having fun and goofing off is also important, and that's what brings people in. If it's a bunch of people with sticks up our ass, we're not going to get anywhere. We need to make sure that this is
Doing the
fun.
same thing
need to
for
make
2
sure
terms is
that,
definitely not
Damn
important.
right. Damn right.
Why am I getting spoken over by people
may
that aren't my governor?
Yes, you may continue.
But let's remember this is a video game. While it is my plan and my expectation to hold the Senate accountable and get our jobs done, we're going to have fun while we're doing it. And I think that's the important part. If we're trying to run it like
Shadow. Knott's feelings. The final closing statement begins now.
Thank you. I'd also like to begin by thanking Shadow. This was an excellent debate. I don't need to remind you all how important this election is. Recycled policy and washed politicians can't bring back the prime of this state. The prime of this state had activity, it had law-abiding and ethical politicians. And how does that compare to now? We have governors who are, unable to follow basic civil laws and get sued for it, right? Where's the respect for the law? Where's the respect for the truth? It's good to have fun. It's not good to take it too far and ruin the purpose of this game.
Thank you, Mr. Feelings.
God bless and good night.
Well, that concludes the debate. Some members of the audience have questions, but do you guys want to answer them, or do you want to wrap it up for the night?
I would be very happy.
Give them
to
like
answer.
5 minutes.
All right.
Questions, 3 to 5 minutes.
Guys, we've been here 2 hours. I'm trying to go to bed.
What a shitty debate.
Who said that? Who said he's trying to go to bed?
I would also like to thank the press. I appreciate y'all. I was looking, I'm watching the live stream, dude. This is some solid quality, albeit we did have some exploiter issues, but
someone
shout out to the press, man. In the past
someone put
month or
soldiers
two,
on the podium. It's actually
in the
insane.
past month or two, dude, like the Ridgeway press has really stepped it up, and like it's ridiculous how close it is to real world press. And in fact, I've been more impressed with Ridgeway press than watching CNN or Fox on my TV. So shout out and kudos to y'all. This is top notch stuff.
No,
Can we
real.
stop writing the media and get to the questions?
Right. All right. Here's
Will there
how
be
we
drinks?
Happy
Not
hour.
those. Happy hour, my
Here's
friend.
how.
Okay.
Drinks on Timbo.
Here's how we do questions. We're going to pull up a member of the audience. They're going to direct the question to one of the candidates, be it gubernatorial or lieutenant governor. They're going to pick one, and that's who it's for. And you'll have 45 seconds to respond. Alex Neptunes was the one who proposed this idea, so we'll bring him up.
God.
I don't think he's in the audience. He's just going to do this and make us waste our time and not even be here. All right, bring up a random person.
But I'm here. What the fuck are you talking about,
Like
bro?
his own
Oh, there
term.
you are. All right.
Hello,
Pick a candidate.
everyone.
Who are you
Hello,
asking?
America. Matrix OC, I have a question for you.
What
You
the
ready
fuck?
for this? You ready for this, big boy?
Are you gonna go inactive before you ask the question, just like your own term? You need
Why
to
are we
step away so you can
disrespecting
go
members of the
AFK just like you did in your
Alright.
term.
Why are we
Order in
disrespecting
the
members
court.
of the public? I remember Daniel
Uh,
Reagan removing you from your
order
position of
in the
undersheriff.
court.
Vince Finn, shut the
Just
hell
saying,
up.
Reagan
order
did
in
never
the
remove
court.
me. I was never demoted.
Shut the
I never
fuck
got
up.
demoted.
Shut the
I've been in my
fuck.
position since the beginning.
Yeah.
Can I ask my question now, fellas?
Yes. Mr.
No,
Syndicate,
okay.
please ask your question.
Mr. Matrix, is it true that you said, and I quote, "I plan to shuffle department leadership for our state," end quote. Is that true? Yes or no?
Response
Say
time
it
begins
again?
now.
Do you
Wait,
plan
no,
on
I didn't hear the
shuffling
question. I didn't hear the
Do
question.
you plan on shuffling department leadership for your state? Yes or no?
45 seconds starts now.
And then I
To
have a
answer that
follow-up after
question, all right. Can I answer the question? All right. So to answer the question, the answer is yes and no, because if you guys didn't know, I will announce it now because he's announced it kind of publicly internally. But Commissioner Jason does plan on stepping down after this term is over, as well as I won't say others, but there are others that do plan on resigning after this term is up. So yes, in a lot of ways, department leadership will be kind of shuffled around for different departments, because obviously the chief and their directors and the those people are leaving. So there definitely will be changes. As for other departments that are doing fine, I see no reason to kind of change it up.
And then
People
I
like
have
Matt
another.
Stern, Key
Alright.
have been doing a great job, etc.
I gotta follow
Thank
up
you,
on that.
Matrix.
And then on you 113
Wait,
25
what's
at
going on?
7:48 p.m. You and I quote.
Okay. Whoa.
Thank you.
Okay. We are going to bring up another member of
what-
the audience at
Dapper, my
random.
guy.
Oh, yeah,
Go.
Alex, you're here.
Okay.
Your question, who's it for?
Okay. It's for the gubernatorial, the governors, but the governor candidates. It's kind of for the
Lagoon?
lieutenant
Which
governor
one?
too.
Who you
calling
goobers?
The Gubernatorial?
Yeah.
I'm a goofy, go there.
Okay, yeah, okay, so we get
I'm a
it.
goofy, go there.
Okay, yeah, we get it. Everyone in this server is a gooner. Okay.
Nobody
What?
said anything about
You're
gooning.
sitting
We
here
said
and shaking
goober.
your head.
Goofy goober.
This commentary.
Ladies,
Okay,
Nobody said anything about
Let me ask my
gooning.
question. Let me ask my question.
Please
Guys, don't
answer,
worry. This
please.
this question is the most competent thing he said as Secretary
please.
of State.
Mr. Alex
Please.
Neptune, let me ask you a
Everyone,
question.
Everyone,
Did you
ask the
goon
question.
before you asked this question?
Ask the question now.
My question is, when I was doing my Secretary of State debate, Mr. Supra, the
You were
one
there
who
for that?
managed the state, he had us settle it in the best way possible, which was fighting using link source. I'm asking for, okay,
Yeah, we don't have
but
admin.
I'm saying, all right, everyone who's running, all right, both governors and lieutenant governor candidates are men. Let's let men, all right. Link
Is this a
source.
question or
Oh,
is it? I mean, I'm
moderator.
confused.
I'm saying,
Yo,
I'm
where's
saying,
the question, Alex? Where's the question, Alex?
I'm saying,
Alright.
will you guys commit to doing a link source fight
Will
battle?
you commit?
Surprisingly,
What the
this is
hell
the
are you
first time
talking
that
about?
Alex Neptune has actually done something.
Will you
Alright,
commit to
Alex,
resigning
Will
or?
you commit?
Oh, nah.
This is the most that Alex Neptunes has done for Ridgeway. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Here's what
Damn,
we'll do.
bruh.
Oh,
I'm not gonna
okay.
lie. Wait. I would like to say before Alex next time gets off the stage, Alex, you did endorse Mr. Vince for governor. And honestly, I wouldn't have taken that I wouldn't have taken that endorsement from Mr. Alex Neptune's Vince, because I feel like if anything, it's like a punch in the gut, my friend. He was the worst Secretary of State ever. The worst Secretary of State the state has ever had. If anything, he's done more harm. He's done more harm.
People.
He's done more harm than good.
Can we actually get questions from the audience, please? I want to hear the audience.
We are now going to bring another random member of the audience up to the stage.
I wonder if I should post that screenshot.
Random member of the audience.
Hello. I'm a
What? He
random
just
member.
we
He's
just
a,
you just
he was a
Next
random
question.
member of the
Next,
audience.
next person. Next person.
Next.
He was random.
Can we bring Medina Love up?
Well, it's got to
What?
be
Yo,
random.
you don't just get to pick people.
It's got to be random.
No, he's been
You
spamming
bozo.
random
Person.
Oh, Park Ranger Billy. Love to see
Oh my God,
it.
it's Park Ranger Billy.
Oh, Trooper
I have
Puppy.
Yo,
a very
shout
British
out the
question.
Ranger.
Hey, Trooper Puppy. Hi.
Why
What?
do the what? Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello?
Okay. Why do
That's
the
good, Billy.
candidates say "kill niggers" on the podium?
Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
Oh
Brandon,
no!
Brandon,
Matrix
oh.
is black.
Clark County
Matrix is
developer.
black.
Just-
Oh my
We support
gosh.
minorities. Let me
Oh
make it
my
clear.
gosh.
We support minorities.
Oh
thought
my
Shadow
gosh.
said that.
Get muted and
Shadow-
deafened in real time.
Shadow- I
Alright,
think that was
um,
Shadow
I'm incredibly insulted.
That
I
is the
think-
least racist Clark County developer.
I think we're gonna end the audience questions from there.
Oh,
unless-
oh,
No,
wow.
Wait,
no. Let him have a few
no,
more minutes.
no,
Let the people speak. One
1980,
bad apple does not have to ruin a bunch.
We're gonna
Boo.
end from YouTube.
1980.
We're gonna
Boo.
end from
And
YouTube.
That's your own fault for not having a 5-second buffer.
All right.
yeah, true.
All right. Who's up here?
1983.
Rummy, ask your question.
1984.
I have two
Someone pull
questions.
Medina Love up too.
Two questions. The first and most important one to the lieutenant governors. How much do you each bench?
285 I think is my last.
Oh yeah, Knott's feelings not matching that.
Nah, I think I'm like 250.
Okay. Solid. Second
I'm a
question
big
to the
boy. I'm a
governors.
beefy boy.
I'm a big
I'm
boy.
not
Why she keep on rubbing on my belly?
I respect that.
What the fuck am I
Medina.
looking at in general?
For the governors.
Someone unmute.
For the governors.
I love
Get
that.
a little
governors.
corny ending to the night. What do you all see as each other's best attributes?
To the governor? Wait, so you're asking for me to say a good attribute about him, vice versa?
Call him pretty or something.
Pause.
I feel that.
Pause.
Ati
Bun
boy.
that my youth.
Ati boy.
Bati Ras clad boy.
Alright, yo, so what do you like about me, bro? Oh, Diddy.
Yo, pause, bro. What do you mean?
Tell him something sweet.
Bro, you cool, bro. I mean, yeah, you pretty cool, dude, bro. I mean, yeah, bro. I
Am
mean,
actually
right now,
mandatory morale?
It's the way he can't. It's the way he doesn't say anything at all.
Am
I
actually
mean, bro,
worse than
like,
mandatory
listen,
morale?
bro. I mean,
What they?
bro, no, of course I can, bro. I say pretty cool, bro. Do pretty cool, like, you know what I'm saying, like.
What does that mean?
He's saying he's chill.
Bro,
Like he's a chill
he's
dude.
chill,
Like
chill
he's,
dude,
he's
bro.
not a
He's
loser.
chill
He's not a
dude.
loser. That's
He's
what
not a
that means.
loser, bro.
All
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
I had to
You know what I'm saying? Not a
translate for
loser.
Matrix. You know how? Never mind.
Heard.
Whoa, what are you
Walter
about to
doesn't
say?
speak hood.
What are you about to say?
Nothing.
Are you
What
saying
were
that?
you
Are
about
you
to
saying
say?
that?
Stop assuming
Are
shit.
you
What the
saying
fuck?
that?
What was you about to say?
Are you, Shadow? Are you saying that a young African American man can't speak?
Oh, hell no.
No, our party. We run.
Settle down.
All right, I want to hear from Medina Love right now.
Yo, I got homework due at 11:59, y'all.
We have another question from Medina Love.
I just want to remind the public that Matrix Arc is a bitch and I beat him.
Oh, okay.
Suck my balls.
I have a
Suck my balls, pussy. Suck my balls,
to bring
pussy.
up.
Hello,
Your mother.
everyone.
Your mother.
Member
We
here.
were just here. Okay, this is.
But I'd like to.
This
ask
random
Mr.
audience member was
Dalmio-
kicked.
Okay.
As Park Ranger Billy just DM'd me and said, "I don't understand why I was kicked out."
That's the flies in Clark. That's why he's confused.
I think
Can we get
This
like a
is-
few more actually productive questions, or are we just
Alright,
fully degen?
I will pick up some people who have
Mr.
been
Helen, I see you.
DMing me questions.
Hey, Arthur Champ here.
You got a couple of
Arthur
people.
Chen.
Where we got
Yeah,
people here. We got
hey.
people here.
We got people in.
Right,
Are you
these
guys
people-
starting new wars?
Oh, what's that?
What'd you
Water?
say?
Are you gonna start any new
Mitchell.
wars?
Hey,
All right, wait. Let's go with questions.
Hey. Hello.
Are you gonna start any new wars or not?
Are we gonna start?
Wait,
any
but
new wars?
who's
Who are
asking?
you
Who's asking?
Both governor, governor candidates.
Okay.
I mean, what I was gonna say is that personally, I've had quite a few wars under me, and I'm not saying that a war won't happen this term, but I'm also not saying that a war will happen this term. But this term kind of focused on, like I said, our foreign relations, our international initiative. So like I said, we'll see how that goes. And then on top of that, I told you guys I wanted to kind of propose legislation for the National Guard for wartime and like state of emergency and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But, wars aren't really planned. They're not like a thing you're gonna say, oh, at the beginning of my term, I'm gonna have a war. Like,
Yeah,
So
he's asking you if you can commit to a third Gulf War right now.
Yeah.
We need
Let me say my
to
piece. Let me
boost
say my
up the
piece.
military
Hold on a
complex of
second.
Ridgeway.
Let me say my piece. Let me say my piece. Let me say my piece.
Right.
Oh, I'm totally done with wars. We had 2 wars with Firestone. We had a war with Noosa. Now Noosa's our best friends, and they're helping Matrix win the election. I'm focused on improving.
That's crazy.
I'm not the mods. This is a question.
Oh my God, you mods!
All right, guys. Next
we wrap
question
this
is.
No, I'm not done. I'm focused on
You
improving
mods, somebody
relations with,
stop him!
No. All
Okay, I got a question from
Let me
M-Span.
just
improving relations.
Can we just
with,
get
like,
through
Firestone.
these?
Shout out-
Yeah.
I want to shout out Orange Bear right now. Shout out
Shut
to
the
Orange Bear,
fuck
my
up,
top
everyone.
endorser.
Orange Bear is a
Here
community
comes.
blacklisted individual.
He's
Let me just
actually
point that
community
out.
blacklisted.
Orange Bear is blacklisted. He's
yo,
not a
yo,
infraction
yo.
of the community guidelines.
Mute everyone. All right. We are going
Wait,
to.
on a serious note.
What?
On a serious note, he just name dropped Orange Bear. He's community blacklisted. He said
All right,
shout out
Okay.
in a Ridgeway
What is it,
Discord.
book?
What are we doing?
From
Yeah, we got
Mr. Matrix.
a resident calculator, so go ahead,
Yeah,
ask
Mr.
a
Matrix.
question.
Thank you.
Bro,
Thank
I
you.
got it. I'm impressed.
Okay, let me just 1 minute. Mr. Governor, can you please pardon me real quick for impersonation? I was helping RSP for a few hours, and some cunt who gets no bitches arrested me because he doesn't know what a woman's touch feels
Oh,
All right.
wait, what was his name? What was his name?
Vince Fan.
like. It started with Arthur, but it wasn't Chen. It was the other Arthur.
Arthur Springs.
Yeah, little bitch. Yeah.
All
Damn.
right.
Bring up Arthur.
Yo,
Hey,
bro, partner forms is still open, bro. Apply, bro.
Can
Alright.
you send me that link?
Yeah, it should be in Gov announcements.
Yeah,
Apply.
beautiful. Thank you, Mr.
I got
Governor.
I got you, Brody. Got you.
Official question from M-Span, if you're ready.
Mr. M-Span, what's up?
It's for Matrix.
What up, Brody?
Just a quick question. Would you be able to hold me now? 6 feet from the edge?
Nico, put on a shirt, bro. Put on a shirt, Nico. What are you doing?
Bro.
Maybe 6 feet.
Bro.
And
Damn. Wait. Hold on. I never got to answer the question. It started when we were young and you were mine.
my
All right.
I have a
Listen.
question.
We are going to take the questions from the people on stage, and also Gaming_Vic was removed from the stage, and he was up here and he wanted to ask. So we're gonna ask Helen, Nico, and Gaming Vic for their questions, and that will be the end. So this doesn't evolve. All right. Helen, what is your question?
Hi, Hellenic here, proud Ridgeway resident and Noosa citizen. Question for both candidates, governor candidates, but I'm fine if they hand it off to the lieutenants. You guys both spoke about more foreign relations, so you can get Ridgeway, you get RNG to do more stuff.
Hold on, moderators, please remove Captain Nico from the stage. He is streaming pornographic material. BBC,
You're lying.
please. Nope. What is that?
Are you serious?
Matrix face cam, and it's a fat black guy. No one sees this right now.
Come on.
Wait.
Right.
Yo, but porn is so crazy, bro. That's not porn, bro. You just called me a porn star, bro. Yo, bro, you basically just called me a porn star, bro.
All right, Helen.
Porn star?
Medina, I know what
I
you
can
look
shake
like.
ass for you, gang.
Bro, please.
Yo, everyone, hop on Ridgeway. Come on.
Yo, what was the actual question? That sounded good.
Yeah, so you guys both spoke tonight about more foreign relations and more stuff for RNG to do, and more diplomacy type shit. How are you guys actually gonna do that? Because genuinely, how are you going to engage in more foreign relations than what's already happening now, where it's just we just fight other state groups or other
By working with the
nation
Department of
groups.
State. By working directly with the
Can
Department
you
of
say
State.
something more than that?
Bro,
That's
he's
kinda-
wilding. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
In the
My point
past,
is, Helen
has only focused on starting wars.
Wait, whoa.
You guys, one at a time, please.
Yeah, one at a time, bro. I'm trying to speak. Helen, who would you like to speak first? Helen, who would you like to speak first?
Vince Fan spoke first.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I couldn't even
Freak,
finish
yeah.
what I was saying.
All right, just answer the question, please.
Who?
You.
You,
Vince Fan, please.
you idiot!
Oh, y'all just cut me off, bitch ass boy.
Speak, speak now.
By working with the
Why are you
Secretary of the
wrong?
Department of State. The
Yeah, but, like,
Department
more
of State
specifically.
hasn't been doing much lately. So I want to encourage the Department of State to take over foreign relations. In the past, the Senate has blocked numerous bills to expand the Department of State. Although some bills were stupid, like that investigation division, the Department of State should have more responsibility when it comes to foreign relations. It shouldn't only be the governor's office. It should be the Secretary of State that has power over foreign relations.
All right.
Okay,
done?
so
Your
you want to pass
response.
it to the Secretary of State?
I don't want
Alright,
to
so
pass it.
now-
I want to cooperate with him.
Oh, so like I was
Alright.
saying, the only reason we haven't cooperated with the Department of State in the past is because the Department of State is the most inactive department in Ridgeway as we speak, and as we have spoken for the past however many months, 6 months. How long has Alex been elected? If Alex was in office for a year, that's how long the Department of State has been active. If he was in office for
What
5
about-
months,
what about when
that's how
Jason
long the
Bourne
department's been active. Shut up! I'm in the middle of speaking, boy. All right. And as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Mr. Lieutenant Governor Vince Fint. What I plan on doing is what's worked in the past. What's worked with Firestone. What's worked with NUSA. What's worked with other groups. Actually have conversation with the heads of states from other departments. And I mean, obviously, hopefully, I hope to God that we actually do get a Secretary of State who knows what they're doing, who's established in their position, and is actually active. Because if that's the case, I can work with the Department of State to do things that we've never done for foreign initiatives and actually make the Department of State work. Like, you get what I'm saying? More than just businesses and approving businesses and doing job fairs. The position is so much more than that. And it can't be tapped into without a proper Secretary of State and without a proper governor who knows how to handle foreign relations.
Well,
he's just regurgitating
moderators.
exactly what I
Is
said.
that why you got two
didn't-
wars?
All right.
Why didn't he work with
Everybody.
why didn't he work with Jason
it is
Bourne?
I have a question for Mr. Matrix.
No. That is it. That is all for questions. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending the gubernatorial debates. I am your host, Just Dapper with the Palmer Times, and it has been a pleasure to have you all. Please
Vote
stay
the
tuned
Beetle
for
for
these.
governor. Vote the Beetle
Matrix
for
Ox for
governor. Vote
governor.
the Beetle for governor.
Matrix Ox for governor.
Please ensure to
And,
stay tuned for the Secretary of State debates, which will be happening sometime soon as well.
Oh no.
Oh, it ain't happening, cuz.
I don't think any of them speak. I don't think any of them speak, like literally. All three candidates
God.
don't use voice chat.
It's gonna be by
It's gonna be in text,
by
guys. We're gonna have to get to text to speech.
That's crazy.
You guys wait, what's the other election? You guys can do Attorney General. You guys can do Attorney General, I think. But then that'll be Adam versus Matthew Sandringham, and he's British, so that'll just be terrible.
Hey,
Well,
quick shout out for the news here. There's polls and event updates.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right.
Sure,
Oh, who do you think
uh,
won, guys?
Oh, and also the Uniform State Bar Exam and Transfer Petition results are also released.
So true. Nobody passed.
I don't see any
Everyone
polls
failed.
are
That's
in news feed.
crazy. They're in event updates for some reason.
Oh,
I'm liking the
But that's
spread
bad.
so
That's okay.
far.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hey, I'm liking the spread so far, guys. Keep
Who
this
wants
up.
to
Good
go
work.
hit the? Who wants
Guys,
to hit
Ronald
the
Download got a bar certification. What the hell is happening?
Ronald, can you defend me in court?
Who hit Ronald into the bar?
The polls. Can you guys stop spamming event updates so we can get actual good data, please?
The data suggests that Peace Download actually won.
Yo, the data is
I
suggesting
don't
that.
have. I already ended it. I don't have stage perms. Someone has to close the stage.
Yo, remember guys, vote for Peace Download. Fuck all these guys.